Я была маленькая девочка, когда мой папа Петр Наумович Дейнека создал миссию Славянского евангельского общества. Но я помню то, что мама и папа все делали с молитвой. И когда миссия эта началась, это было с молитвой, чтобы наш славянский народ услышал о Господе. Напоминаю, что есть книги о жизни моего отца, там около регистрации. И сейчас с радостью покажем нам немножко видео, то, что труд видео от Славянского евангельского общества также для молодых. Спасибо.
Take a look at the largest country in the world, Russia. Take a look at the surrounding countries of Ukraine, Belarus, and Kazakhstan. Take a look at the people of these vast lands who have lived through a history of great struggle, persecution, corruption, and difficulty. Take a look at a people who have lived through Tsarist rule, 2 world wars, famine, and 70 years of communism under the old Soviet Union.
But today in these countries, you will find a new generation where the Soviet Union is ancient history. A generation that knows large supermarkets, not the small understocked stores of the past. A generation that knows only large traffic jams that have replaced relatively open streets. A generation that uses MP3 players, cell phones, PDAs, the internet, and digital cameras. A generation that faces less spiritual persecution, but now struggles with the same self-centered behavior that has invaded Western culture. Like youth all over the world, they are a generation that needs the truth of the gospel. The truth they can use as a foundation for their lives and build on for the future. This is a great opportunity for the ministry of the Lord Jesus Christ to help the youth of today to build on a foundation that cannot be shaken. Now there is a new vision for this generation of Russian youth. A vision that sees them as God's ambassadors for today. A vision that moves youth ministry from a way to keep kids out of trouble to a training ground for today's leaders and building this foundation for the future. Today in these countries, there are youth leaders that are embracing this vision and stepping up to the plate, using the limited resources available to stand strong for the gospel and embrace the role that God has laid out before them. At SGA, we are refocusing our youth ministries to support these young people who are being discipled and are serving in their local churches, and to connect them to young believers here in America and Canada. As part of this focus, they can obtain a Russian language study Bible and concordance after weeks of faithful discipleship. They are also provided with evangelistic literature to share their faith and support for transportation so they can be out serving as often as possible. Integral to this ministry is a vision to connect young believers in America and Canada with these dedicated Russian and Ukrainian believers, to come alongside, to pray with them about the work that God has laid out before us, to support them financially and supply ministry resources, and even to travel, to physically work side by side to help plant churches, operate summer camps, and evangelize the lost, to become mission-minded, standing firm in one spirit, with one mind, striving together for the faith of the gospel. Never before has the opportunity been greater, the focus clearer, and the implementation tools more available. Now is the time to act. This generation of Russian youth are truly on fire for God.